Hello and welcome back to the Lady Sows. It's blowing a gale here once again, nothing unusual there. Now I'm going to be planting my summer onions today. I sowed them on the 15th of February and I think they're about ready to go out now. Let me show you. So these are a Sturon onion and they're from my own saved seed, and I have to say I got really good germination. So I'm going to do that again. Anyway, today's task is to get these in the ground. Now, I found that the optimum number of onions in a clump, because I plant mine as a clump, is 3. They're going to be planted 10 inches apart with 12 inches between the rows. So let me see if I can get you a bit closer to what I'm doing, and then you can watch what I'm doing. Right, so I've got a little tub of water there, because where I've got more than 3 onions in a clump, I'm going to put them in the water just to keep them going. So for example, this clump here has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in. So I'm going to take 2 out, just keep the roots hydrated in the water, and plant the clump of 3. What's the next clump like? This has got 4 in it. So as you can see, I'm going to, where's the next hole? There. This one's got a weed growing in it as well. This has got 4 in it. In fact, this has got 5 in it, but that's a bit of a weedy looking one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Normally, I plant about 5 seeds, not necessarily my own saved seeds, and I actually end up with about 2 in a, but these, I've planted 5 seeds and I've managed to get 5 plants. It just goes to show the huge difference between bought seed and home saved seed. So I've actually put in 60 holes in this bed. So I'm probably going to have to make some more holes for them to go in. That looks like a bit of grass. So I've got another hole there. Oh, this one's only got 3 in it. One of those is a bit on the weedy side. So I think I'm going to swap that, because it's not a very good one, with a much better onion here. And poke it in that hole there. That one's got 1 on the outside. That's got 4 in it. Right. So I'm going to carry on doing this because you don't really need to sit and watch me planting a load of onions, and I'll come back to you when I've finished. Right, well, I've got these in. Not that it's easy to see them because they're quite small plants. But I've done this whole bed. I put 70 holes in, so that's 200, potentially 210 onions. I do use a lot of onions. Use the last of last year's onion that I sowed for summer onions. I used the last one yesterday, I think. But I do have a bag of onions in the freezer from the overwintered ones from last year, so we're using those now. And when I run out of those, well, then we'll be eating leeks. Now I've got red onions to plant and I've got spring onions to plant, but I have no idea at the moment where they're going to go. The red onions aren't ready to go in, actually. So what I'm going to do with this lot, I'm going to give them a water, and then I'm going to cover them with fleece. Not because they need to get warm, but because I don't want the birds pulling them out. And also I just will leave the fleece on for couple of weeks, week, 10 days, just to help them get established because it is so windy here. So anyway, so that's what I'm going to do now, and then I'll get on and do something else. I thought that while I was doing a video about the onions, I'd give you a quick update on how my giant onions are doing. I had planned on videoing it the same day as I'd done those onions at the allotment. Unfortunately, on my way back from the allotment, there was this almighty bang in my car, and unfortunately I couldn't get home for a bit. In fact, I waited 5 hours for the breakdown people to arrive to tell me that I had broken the drive shaft on my car. So you can imagine I wasn't best pleased. And then when it got to the garage, they told me it also broken 2 springs and something else. So you also knew, I almost knew that by the sound that it wasn't going to be a cheap job, and so has been the case. Anyway, we've got another sunny and windy day here, and so I just thought I would show you my onions. Hopefully you can see them all right, because I can't see very well at all because of the sun. Now, let's get this one up here. This is one of the mollycoddled ones that, you know, I've sort of brought in and out from the cold every night. I had to stick them out in the greenhouse because I'd run out of space. And this one has just sat in the greenhouse since I've potted it, not the last potting up, but probably the one before. And I just shoved it out there, and it's actually looking not a huge amount different from this one, which is, as I say, is part of the mollycoddled group. These leaves are driving me nuts, and so are the clips. Looks like the wind's blowing the camera. They're so long, you know, but it is still growing. It is still growing leaves from the centre, but they're not fattening up in any way. But perhaps it's still early days. I don't know. I look at Pete's and they're looking absolutely fantastic, and I look at these and I'm absolutely convinced I'm growing leeks rather than onions. Anyway, so I've got 5 of these. I have 7. I've put up my grow tent where they're actually going to go. Well, some of them are going to go. Just to warm the soil up. Some of them are just going down to the allotment and going to have to take their chances. They have been staying out in the greenhouse, even though the weather has been cold, because I had my granddaughters visiting, and I just decided that I did, because I've been bringing them in and out of the house into the lounge, and I decided it was too dangerous to do that with 2 toddlers running about. So we have had some pretty cold nights. I have covered them with fleece in the hope of keeping them warm. But anyway, if I do this again next year, I'm going to have a complete rethink as to how I manage this, because I only have a small amount of space. Maybe I'll just cut it down to 1 or 2 rather than 7. Because as I say, they're all looking much of a muchness when it comes to size. In fact, yeah, as I say, and this one, it's a lot stockier, I feel. And that, as I say, that's been in the greenhouse for weeks now. And we've had temperatures down. I think I had recorded one night, it was 0.2. So that's freezing really, but it's survived. It's not those leaves aren't as long, but it's still hanging in there. And we'll see how that does by the end of the competition. Anyway, thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you another time. Bye for now. Bye.